things happen, and you can't take that out on people. As long as people learn and try not to make the mistake too many times. Spring is on its way. It is beautiful outside. We have a very busy week in the office. The guys, the studio team, Joe, Josh, Luke and Kirby are heading down to London. Yeah, down to London town. With all this kit, we've got a van. We've had to hire a van in because there's that much stuff to take. Morning, Lucius. Morning. That's the van that we're hiring. Can you see that? Nice big van to get everything in. And the gang in there. Good morning. 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 And then we've got the gang all ready and raring to go in here. Good morning. Morning. Hi. He's mute. Don't worry about him. Busy week this week. I'm experimenting. I mentioned this in last week's episode, where I'm breaking my days up into mornings to concentrate on sales and admin and all the running a business stuff, and then the afternoons content creation, so doing the podcasts for my personal brand, podcasts for Starter Media, editing video content, planning, strategizing, doing some marketing and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully we'll have a nice productive week out the back of it, because we need to get moving on that content creation stuff. So here we go. So the kit is in, ready to go for the trip to London for the guys. You've got camera gear in there, got tripods, power cables, sandbags, lenses, lighting, C-stands, all sorts of stuff, which has got to be unpacked and then repacked when you're on location. But luckily there's a few of them, so there's plenty of people to get their hands dirty. How much easier is it just loading there as opposed to, remember the old building where we'd be like, it was like the cars up and down.
On that busy
street.
Just like cars and trucks
bombing it up and down every 2 seconds.
Yeah, much easier here. Yeah. But that's it, I think we've got everything.
Couldn't help but overhear a conversation going on in the office with Saxon, head of our animation, and the team.
So for example, like the storyboard, we would probably put 1 to 2 weeks.
What we could do is, in the customer-friendly animation process, is have some examples of projects, and then you can just walk them through it and just say,
if they've got things they can see, and then they know when they're planning their quarter, okay, well, we know that these projects take longer.
With animation, obviously, a 2 minute versus 5 minute has 3 extra minutes that you've got to animate from scratch.
And if
you know
they
what I mean?
have
So that's the biggest thing, is like, if your thing's only 30 seconds long, and it's got X, Y, and Z in it, then it's going to take this long. If it's got characters, obviously it's going to take longer, because now we've got to rig those characters and animate those characters up top.
It's very much this is like over to you type moment. This is very much an educational, I need to show you this, guys, so that we can work together to make sure your projects get over the line quicker. But it's not as quick as design, we can't just flick a switch.
There's a lot more complex in animation than it is any other types.
So that's what you just seen. There's really a really important conversation going on between Saxon, who's our head of animation, Ben, who's going to be our MD, and Kat, head of talent, and Lucius, account manager. Animation is a really complex thing to price up, to scope up, to discuss with clients before any work begins. It's just, there's so many moving parts, and all animation projects are different. So one of our big growth strategies this year is to acquire. We're going to grow through acquisition. I've just literally been on a call with somebody who's at that stage in their life where they've spent 15 years building a business, and now they're looking to get out and do something different. They don't enjoy the business side of it, as most people don't. Hopefully we'll progress that conversation and take that further. But there's a couple of companies that I'm looking at the minute. We want somebody who's looking to exit. They've got a business that's got a good EBITDA, good infrastructure. We can fold that into our current business, and we can do an earn out with that business owner. There may be some additional benefits added to that deal. So if the company does a certain amount of KPIs, then there may be more financial reward in return, and so on and so forth. So there's all sorts to be discussed and looked at. It was a good call. I enjoyed that. Monday afternoon, 3:05. I am in the edit suite. One of the areas that we're looking at improving in the business is finding fresh new talent to help us with those jobs that the team out there just don't have enough time to do. So they've got a lot of little videos that need editing for clients, for internal stuff. We need somebody who can come in and take up all these little jobs that just speed up the whole content production. Our head of talent, Kat, is currently getting in touch with the universities and colleges locally nearby to see if there's anybody that fits what we're looking for, and hopefully we can get somebody in soon. We're swimming in all the work we've got coming in at the minute, which is a good problem to have, but we also need to be one step ahead with recruitment as well. It is Wednesday morning, 10:20, and yesterday was a nightmare. I was in bed for most of it yesterday. Felt like death warmed up. Every week I set myself 3 big goals to achieve within any particular week. This week, and they're on post-it notes, business plan. Need to get that done because me and Ben are going away soon to the Lake District for a getaway to talk about all things business and to plan ahead for the next 12 months. Then there's the sales process that needs sorting out. It's still not 100% yet. And then pipe drive, all my sales tasks that are currently sat there. There's a lot of things staring me in the face that needs to get done. I need to get them done. I need to get a short film project on the go to shoot at some point this year. I've been meaning to do it for a while now and I've just not had a chance, so there we go. And it's Wednesday already, the week's flying by. I'm going to talk more about those 3 goals in a week, that process. More behind the scenes stuff coming up. I'm going to talk about the marketing plan for the business because at the minute we don't have a marketing person. We used to, Dave, but then he moved on to another company. For me, sales is 90% marketing and we don't have marketing at the minute. So my new car has finally arrived. After 7 months of making the deal, ready to collect tomorrow morning, so I've got to faff around with this car, get it ready. Done some good sales this week. James is knocking it out of the park at the minute. He won a couple of sales yesterday. I won a sale yesterday with a new client, a big brand, another big brand. The guys went to London in a hire van recently and we had 2 bumps. Not with any other vehicles, just nervous driving, I think. So we've got an excess to pay on that. It came to about nearly £700, I think it was in total, which isn't ideal because we're a small company with, tight cash flow, and now we have to fork out £700 for the hire of the van. But things happen and you can't take that out on people as long as people learn and try not to make the mistake too many times. And we are looking into leasing a van. That takes time, paperwork to go through. The van, I think there's a waiting list, even for second-hand vehicles. So yeah, lots going on, lots of conversation with the level 10 teams. That's myself, Kat and Ben, talking about team formation. What happens is, I've noticed, when we get busy, like really busy, and people are running around, working really hard, morale always dips. People get tired, things don't quite go the way they were expecting it to, and then in the end the company gets it in the neck. So we're trying to figure out how we mitigate that and how we reduce the risk of that happening. We're in that industry where when it does get busy, it gets busy and everybody's expected to roll the sleeves up and get on with it, but still we've got a responsibility obviously to make sure that people aren't driving themselves into the ground, and they're not, and we're very sure of that and confident of that. But at the same time, what we've noticed is that when we do get busy, I think stress levels rise a little bit, and that causes a little bit of friction in part. And we want to be the best that we can be, so therefore we're always reviewing, we're always scrutinising, we're always improving, and we're always rehearsing to be the best that we can. Right, we are here in the design studio with Tony, who's been working on something pretty cool.
Just wanted some clarity over this bit.
Okay.
This bit. When we say current internal comms brand assets,
Yes, the icon.
just the icons.
Yeah.
Right, I got you. I missed that.
I've worked here just over 7 years.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
Ooh, play that again.
I've worked here just over 7 years. I thoroughly enjoy it.
It's one of the better jobs I've had.
Where is everybody? Quick. Awkward.
Right, come on then.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you. Have we done risk assessment on the candles, just by the way?
Yeah.
Hey.
No. Thank you everyone for gathering.
How old are you? What is your real age?
34.
43.
That's a lie. You're not 34.
34.
When were you born?
1988.
Oh, it was stumbling a little bit then.
Do I need to open these now? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, of course.
And you have to laugh at every single comment. So I'm just trying to catch up today. I got a couple of admin bits to finish off. Now, we were going to go away next week, myself and Ben, but we've had to cancel that because of other commitments that have come in that we need to focus on that are more priority right now. So we're going to go the week after. So we'll film that and we'll share bits of that. Some of it will be confidential and sensitive information, obviously, but we will share whatever we can from that in a future episode. So that's going to be the week after next. And hopefully before the end of today, I need to get into the podcast studio and record this week's episode of the podcast version of The Diary of an Entrepreneur. Episode 14 released last week, which is doing all right, getting quite a few listens on Spotify and Alexa and a few others, so that's good. Right, 1, 2, 3. So we are going to record a podcast. Okay, we're recording, and I'm recording on the hard drive as well. Okay.
This is the diary of an entrepreneur and one person's quest to build a successful content production business from the ground up. It's been a whole load of blood, sweat and tears, and I decided some years ago now to document the whole thing, sharing information that most other business owners wouldn't even dream of sharing, let's be honest. So, you must have a business plan, says every business advisor, mentor, coach, bank, and other business institutions and experts. But what they're not saying is, for the most part, you need a bespoke business plan that best fits your future business goals. Then I've got personal goals. It's amazing how many people do business plans and spend most of the time planning, strategizing, but they forget about themselves. Why are you doing this? So in that, I have personal goals, and it'll be stuff that will be part of the business, and it'll be stuff that's outside the business. Right, thanks again for listening. Thank you so much for joining and supporting, and I will see you, hear you, speak to you on the next episode of The Diary of an Entrepreneur. I have left the office. I managed to get and squeeze in all the bits that I needed to get done. I don't think I've ever done as much in 1 hour before ever, so it just goes to show, what you can get done if you really push yourself. Good end to the week, good vibes across the office. Everybody's been working really hard this week. A lot of good stuff happening, lots of really good feedback from clients, lots of new client wins coming in. I need to find a junior editor or a junior videographer who can come into the business and help edit this sort of thing, the Diary of an Entrepreneur, and a lot of internal stuff that we need doing. Hopefully when we find that person, we'll be able to film a lot more behind the scenes Diary of an Entrepreneur content. Anyway, really good week, really pleased. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Diary of an Entrepreneur. Keep your eye on the website, subscribe, like, comment. It'd be great to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the episodes? What would you like to see me covering in an episode? There's also the podcast, and you'll find everything on my website, dannylacey.business. Visit that, keep an eye on it, and if you're interested in this sort of stuff, then subscribe and follow the journey.